The thought that there are lesser laws, such as the law of matter, brought the idea of materiality or mortality into effect. It was not Adam, it was the man who followed Adam. Matter is but one attitude of consciousness, the same as thought is but one attitude of consciousness. In other words, matter is only a fixed mental habit. Thought and matter are, in reality, only avenues of expression, and neither should be limited in the considerations of men. Adam, of course, did express consciousness, but not the mortal consciousness or mortality of consciousness. That was attached to his name long after the advent of Adam. To the Master, there is no material universe. The visible universe to him is the manifestation of spirit, and is, therefore, spiritual in essence, and governed by the law of spirit. It is this knowledge which gives him power, and therein is the secret of all individual power. To know the law of spirit and to live in harmony with that law is always power of unlimited degree. And that law of the spirit is the law of love. It is love that governs infinite space and all forms that are projected into space. That is why the scriptures say that if you are in love, you are in God, and God is in you. Love is harmony, and therefore keeps all things in harmony, not only with itself, but with each other. When man is in a consciousness of love, or a consciousness of perfect unity with all things, he is in a state of perfect harmony with all things and with all people. Love is, as it might be said, cohesion, or a binding force that keeps all things in relationship to their source. Working in harmony with their source, they work in harmony with all projections of that same source. But love will dissolve that which is not in harmony with the universal order, for it demands of everything its complete adherence to the principle of its own nature, which is spirit. For that reason, love destroys hate and greed, selfishness, and self-seeking, and the ego that comes from these states of consciousness. Man is a replica of the complete universe, and he is a complete universe within himself when he includes himself in that whole. If he would let go of every thought of creed and dogma, he would be completely out of superstition. He would be completely unlimited. The moment that we unlimit ourselves, it can be shown through photographic evidence today that light emanates from every cell of our body. Light, in the same way, emanates from every cell of the universe. The source of this light and energy, which invigorates and fills the expanse of the universe and the universe of our body, is the great central sun. Cosmic means great. It is the whole of which man is a part. Now we come to the next chapter entitled Yourself. When Jesus the Christ taught, "Unless you become as a little child, you can in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven," he gave one of the most profound truths. A child has not yet been hypnotized by the world ideal of limitation, and lives naturally in harmony with its source. That is why most grown people love to be with children. They radiate the natural harmony of the universe, and that is the natural environment of man. If we would only drop all the ideas that have related us to the world, we would find ourselves in that determination which comes from the universal movement, and we would perform the works that are always seeking to manifest themselves through our nature. Wherever thou findest self, drop that self, wrote the ancient Hindus, and that is still the central teaching of the Masters. Only when habits to the contrary are dropped from the primal nature of man can he hope to live the life which is the only life. Most of our attempts at living are so completely adverse to the purpose and natural trend of life that it only leads to the dissolution of the flesh. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof is death, said Jesus. Know this, there is nothing that really limits man and keeps him in a state of uncertainty and inefficiency but his own thought. When these thoughts are removed, he may enter into the life of the universe with ease, and then his life begins to give evidence of its natural possibilities. In that day when you think not, the Son of Man cometh, was the wise instruction of the great Master. All thought that comes into man's consciousness from the world is but a reflex of the impressions so received, and man is not a reflector. Man is the projector of the divine, and only as he allows the deepest impulses of his own nature to express is he in life as it is. The divine purpose of the law of life is to perfect and refine the nature of man until it is complete and perfect expression of itself. When life is lived in this way, without the reserve and restraint caused by the hypnotic spell of induced thought, the nature of man is continually refined. This requires the constant control of the individual until all his nature is a unit in expressing the one single purpose. The determination of this force is then perfect outwardly, as it is already a fact in the universal. Only in this way can man fulfill his destiny and receive the full support of the universal forces. Many people wonder why God does not manifest through their own ideas and give them what they imagine they want. God no more acts through the ideals of man than the law of nature acts through infertile seeds, except to disintegrate them. God, our spirit, is about his own business, fulfilling his own ideal and purpose, and man must come into harmony with this universal purpose. Then and only then will he attain that state of complete childlikeness where he lives life naturally. Natural life is perfect and produces perfect results. Our ideas are either altogether imperfect or incomplete. They have not the nature or purpose of the universal trend in them. Therefore, they are only to be discarded and put aside in order that the higher influences may become the determining factors in our entire being. You say you have been taught that the first law of nature is self-preservation, and so it is. But that does not mean that one protects his own life at the expense of another. The law of life moves to preserve and promote life. The life of a master is one that promotes and preserves life, for he lives in harmony with the only life which is. To him there is no revenge, and his whole motive is to protect life from every intrusion. That is the secret of mastery. Until one has mastered that in his own nature which would destroy his life, he is out of life. But when he is free from that which would destroy life, he is completely in life. Even Jesus did not condemn those who crucified him, but released them from the karma of their own ignorance through the law of forgiveness. The fact is, to hold another in blame, or to attempt to place blame upon another, is only to involve yourself in that ignorance. Protect life wherever it is manifest. Guard your own life and the lives of others from all ignorant intrusion. Protect yourself and others from any thought or act which would involve them in anything but the fuller and more harmonious expression of life. To do otherwise is suicidal. Constantly refine your own life by protecting the life all around you. But to protect others, is not only to protect them from bodily violence, but to protect them from their own ignorance and the ignorance of others. Free yourself and others from the hypnotism of human thought, and see yourself and them as free sons of the highest. Only in this way can you enter into life, and to enter into life is to become the master yourself. If someone does you an injury, free him instantly in your own mind, and free him from the possibility of criticism or condemnation from others. Always hold him freely in the universal life.